we are focused on establishing data foundations, and people have asked me, what does that mean, to you, a data foundation? And for us, it's what of all the data we have, what of it is valuable? There's only a part that's valuable. And make no mistake, investing in your data is an investment. It is work. It is money. And you only want to do that where you're going to get a commensurate amount of value out of it. So we're working to identify what are those data entities or, pieces of data that are going to be valuable if we get hold of them. And then moving from Excel, out of Excel into what I call systems of record. This is where people do their day-to-day job, whether that's a project management solution, a cost estimation solution. So establishing those kinds of systems and then bringing that data into a data lake where we can put machine learning algorithms on top of it. So we're starting to identify all of the different systems of record we need, the data entities we need to manage in those systems, and then making sure that by the time we push that to a data lake, we have good quality data so that you end up with a data lake and not the data swamp that is so ubiquitous out there. So that's where we're focused, is getting the data foundation first to establish the data, have it be owned and managed well, and then leveraging on top of that. And I think that's a great thing to do for other companies as well. I recommend, and I used to only recommend that, okay? Like, don't even think about machine learning until you get your data house in order. But something happened recently that changed things, and that's ChatGPT. And everybody's talking about it, right? And if you've played with ChatGPT, and pretty much everybody has now, and other open source things like that, that you don't have to feed it structured data. You don't have to feed it managed data. You just ask a question. And so we do have the ability now, in addition to leveraging an off-the-shelf or open source solution like that, ExxonMobil has built some in-house solutions that can take vast troves of documentation and put algorithms on top of it, combine it with some scanning mechanisms and indexing and all kind of technical stuff that bores everybody when I talk about it. But basically put a machine on top of your documentation and let your documentation tell you things, answer questions for you. So we do have that ability. Now, I don't want to come off as saying like, forget about managing data. You don't need to do that, because you do. Being able to ask a question of your data in a natural language way, like, hey, when was the last time we built using this pump, as an example, that you can probably get with a ChatGPT-like solution. What you can't get is predicting the future. And so you need to still get your data house in order and all this nerdy stuff I've been talking about in order to do predicting the future or having things, a design generated, like not having to have hundreds of people working on the design, but hey, maybe I have a historical design and give it some parameters and have it build me a new design automatically. That's the game changer that you probably are not going to get with an off-the-shelf solution.